in South Africa, and a very warm welcome to you. When I left, this was still a puppy. Now you're a very, very, very big dog. Okay, shame. She wants to go. Welcome to the show, everybody. I feel like I haven't been here in absolutely forever.
A very, very long time. But first up, she was South Africa's very first professional model with albinism. Refilwe Modiselle joins us today to chat about her career, being part of such a successful family in the entertainment industry, and also what the future holds for her.
So much on the show today. If you are a fan of Westerns or just a fan of good-looking, well-built men like myself, then you better stay right where you are, because we are joined today by Generation star Vuyo Dabula to take a look at his incredible new film called 5 Fingers for Marseille, which opens in cinemas tomorrow.
Ooh, this one's freaking out. This film is essentially a cowboy flick set in rural Eastern Cape and is the vision of director Michael Matthews and producer and scriptwriter Sean Drummond. We'll be sitting down with them to learn more about what went into making this visual masterpiece. Okay,
I think she wants to go on the floor.
Okay, goodbye. All right then.
Right, there's one way to keep warm, get some delicious, well, not to, almost said delicious kittens and delicious dogs. I mean, like, obviously, most fluffy dogs you can find to keep you warm over the winter seasons. I cannot believe that we're past a quarter of the way through the year. And that means the winter seasons are coming around to the southern hemisphere, and I'm sorry about that. But it does mean 2 things. 1, layers, thank you very much. But 2, also hot chocolate is one of my favorite things to enjoy over the winter seasons. But those who are lactose intolerant generally feel a bit left out when it comes to that. We've got a solution.
Exactly, not today. So we're going to make a delicious, spicy, flavorsome, lactose-free hot chocolate.
Lovely.
Perfect. I think, perfect winter, but perfect for any day.
So not just a hot chocolate, a spicy hot chocolate. Interesting. We made a chai latte recently with lactose-free milk. Today we're going to be making a delicious hot chocolate, so make sure you guys stand by for that. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Don't forget, head over to all of our social platforms. We'd love to hear from you. #AfternoonExpress. Share your thoughts. You're officially part of the family. Let's meet our first guest.
And our very first guest for today, Refilwe Modiselle, known to her fans as Vanilla Black, makes up 1/3 of the renowned Modiselle sisters. She's an actress, radio host and model, and became famous around the world as South Africa's first professional model with albinism. In 2013, she was featured on Oprah's Power List, and she joins us today to share her journey. Welcome to Afternoon Express.
Hi, Jeannie. Hi, Bonnie. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, finally, we've been dying to have you on the show.
Man, I'm such a fan. You ladies are legends.
So tell us about your rise. I mean, it felt like it was overnight, but I'm sure from your perspective, it was one step at a time. Tell us about your first moment of realizing that there was a career in this for you.
You know what? A lot of people don't know that I started at age 13. So literally, my start or introduction to the industry was age 13. I was approached to do my first shoot for Y Magazine, which was a 5-page fashion editorial based on the millennium, and I was the symbol of change. So it was 1999 going into the 2000s, and I was to be that symbol of a transition or the change that was about to happen. At 13, I didn't realize that I would be a model, or let alone be the start to what God had sent out for my future and my destiny. So at 13, I was just a child playing in front of a camera, but only to find that the bug would bite me, I think, in my tertiary years, because I had to stop. My mom was very careful in pushing me into such an industry at such a young age, and they told her that there's no such in the country. I mean, she would literally have so much attention from the media, so she kind of drew me back from that. And it was only after my matric year, when I did my first year, that I actually went back in, but without asking, or without asking to go back in, but rather the industry drawing me in. So I started out as a model. I worked in corporate sector. This is what people don't know. In and out, 7 years after studying, I worked in and out of corporate sector. But between all of that, there was the modeling, there was the singing. A lot of people don't know that I was a backing vocalist. Wow. Yes, I sing as well.
Who were you a backing vocalist for?
I was a backing vocalist for KB, Mutsulanyane, and as well as Zab's The Last Letter.
Stunning.
I did a little bit of that when I was in college, just to get a few, just a few cents to get by. And I moved through to different career paths. Oh my goodness, it's like a long journey. But eventually, I think in 2012, when I was made the ambassador for a very big women's label out here, that's when, you know, I think everything else fell into place. I became a TV host. I then dived into so many other things, motivational speaker, voiceover artist.
Actress.
Yeah, exactly, actress as well. Like so many things I think have followed through over the years. I can literally say that maybe this is my 18th year in the industry, and people don't know that it's gradually been a build-up. And now I'm at a point where I'm a radio host on Motsweding FM, drive time 3 to 6 p.m. And it's an entire new journey for me. So the different facets of my life that I've been able to dive into as Refilwe that people necessarily did not know about. It's all really been a gradual build. I wasn't ready-made. It's just literally being like a diamond where you're found in the rough and you put through time.
And would you say that your confidence grew gradually with every new step you were taking? Because people kind of expect success to be this like this highway where you just start and you're just successful and you know that that's your rightful place and you immediately feel confident. Because when a lot of people think of you, they think confidence.
Yeah.
But how many people even are confident, I suppose, when they are successful?
In a real way.
Nobody really is.
Yeah.
You know what? Confidence is, I believe, okay, we're all born with it. It is inherent in all of us. I think the trick is finding your strength in the ability to bring it out. And I think with me, the foundation part of it is very important. What your parents instill in you. And for me, my basis was my mom. I think coming from a home where there was a lot of love, that instilled a sense of value in you to not seek validation from outside first. Because when you carry that seed as a child, it might not be very in your face at that point in life, but later on it does come out. And I mean, yes, you know, I was always really a bit out there. Yeah, you know, there was a quiet part of me that wasn't really as vocal. I think the true confidence in me really came out after my matric year, where I'd gone through the years of being bullied in high school and primary school, and just, you know, and a bullying which I was not aware of. That's the thing. I say it now that I wasn't aware.
How were you not aware of the bullying? What kind of, or what tone was the bullying?
You know, the thing is, I think sometimes you just think people make comments for the sake of just making comments, and you're not aware that that is a sense of bullying. For the mere factor that when you're a girl child in a girls' school and people are going to say to you, oh, but you think you're clever. You don't realize that that is a kind of bullying.
But I still think people are just making comments. Like I tweeted the other day that people just feel like they need to say something, so they end up saying something stupid.
That
like
is a
you
form
got
of
to,
bullying.
like, but you got a comment on Twitter where somebody had said that you were bleaching your skin. I mean, when I read that, I wanted to scratch myself, thinking, why is this person on Twitter?
Let me tell you, from the time I got out of my mother's womb, I think I was introduced to bullying. I just didn't realize that it was a form of bullying, because it's something that I've had to live with and accustom myself to until I got to a point where I have to stand up for myself. And I think just being vocal and being the person that I've become, getting to a point where you say, I'm not going to allow people to put me down, because if you feel that it is okay for you to do that to me, then you're going to feel that it's okay for you to do that to the next person. And if the next person is not as strong as I am, then what will happen to that person? How do we not see suicide cases? How do we not see the impact of girls who grow up believing that they're less than what they are?
Well, because somebody had criticized you on Twitter, and the way you had responded completely disarmed them, and I thought it was tremendously graceful of you, actually.
You have to do that. You have to do it. You see, unfortunately, society has this thing of just keeping quiet. You put things under the carpet and life has to go on. For me, I'm like, if you are not an example to everybody to say, no, stop it, at what point does it then stop?
Yeah, nobody gets away from not standing up for themselves. It's a lesson we all have to learn, no matter what your insecurity is, or no matter what the obstacles you are particularly burdened with.
And you certainly are a role model and an outstanding woman. We're going to be chatting to you a little bit later, so don't go away. We've got another whole interview segment with you.
We'll be back with more with Refilwe later on the show, but after the break, we sit down with another South African star. You may know him as the villainous Gaddafi from Generations. It's Vuyo Dabula. We'll be right back.
Clover No Lac, lactose-free milk that lets you enjoy dairy again. Made with Love by Clover.
Welcome back to SABC3's Afternoon Express. Now, our next guest is one of the hottest stars on the acting scene at the moment, Vuyo Dabula. He dominated South African entertainment news this week ahead of the release of his new film, 5 Fingers for Marseille.
Now, over the years, he's starred in a number of local shows like Yizo Yizo Isidingo, and most famously as the villainous Gaddafi on Generations.
How did it go?
They put me through the ringer for a couple of hours. Used all kinds of scare tactics. But they got nothing out of me.
Then we should be out of here in a couple of hours.
You maybe. Not so much for me. They said they found traces of blood and a chipped tooth in my house. The detective wanted to know if the blood on the tooth belonged to Zach. Said they traced his PC to my house.
Zach, that's the computer boy you told me about.
Yes. They're going to run DNA tests.
And what if it leads back to him?
Then they can build a case against me.
Jeez. Hold on, you said he killed himself. How did his teeth and blood end up at your compound?
Good question.
What's going on here?
It's obvious. I'm being framed.
This feels like a reunion for me, because when we were way back, we were so young. I think we were in like our teens still.
Yeah,
like
teens.
Yeah, teens.
Oh, yeah,
we were in
right
our
at the
teens,
beginning,
and we used to model together, and we've been in like campaigns together. So this feels like a reunion. And there was a long phase in between where we went through very similar journeys.
Yeah.
And it was so awesome to see you back on our screens.
Yeah. No, it's been a ride. I mean, 20 years. My career is like that long. Generations, 3 years. So people actually only see me now, you know, with the 3 years that I've been on Generations. But the journey you were talking about, do you want me to talk about that? Okay,
please.
Cool. At some stage, you and I, we were like quite religious and spiritual. Was it spiritual or religious? Or?
Both.
Both.
But extremely radically religious.
Yeah, extremely. So, there was a point where, you know, I couldn't kiss, you know, on screen.
I heard that.
Yeah.
You had a clause in your contract that you weren't allowed to kiss anybody else.
No. It was.
I mean, I wouldn't have gone to that audition if I knew that I couldn't kiss you. Seriously.
Well, I could relate to that because I went through a phase like that where I decided not to do kissing scenes at all. Because it appointed where your spiritual journey became like a big part of every single thing you did, and it influenced everything you did.
Yeah, it was like your soul. It was like, you know, you're losing, you know, something like the thing. But when my son was born, I just, you know, decided that, you know, I wasn't gonna listen to anything. You know, he spoke most loudly than anything. And, you know, I had to feed him. I had to take care of him. And then I said, look, I mean, I feel like I do have a gift, you know, and I've never been confused about it, ever, you know. And then I thought, okay, God, you give me this, and then you don't want me to take care of, you know, I can't use it to take care of my family. I can't do it. You give it to me, but I can't use it. And so that's when I stepped off that train. That whole biblical
Trust me,
train.
I believe in God, but He made you like that because you should definitely.
You know what I mean?
Like,
But a lot of people don't know that you starred in a film called Soldiers of the Rock, which did really well, and it was directed by Norman Maike. And you ended up being on. You had a huge poster at Stir Kineko for years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, your career started out on a high.
Like, but they at the time I could actually kiss, and then, you know, I went through a spiritual journey. But there isn't, coincidentally, they cut the scene out, the kissing scene out. And then the journey, that whole religious, you know, journey for a very long time. And so, you know, kept on turning down things, kept turning down, you know, opportunities. And, you know, but I think it's just a seed. It's like a, you know, you're going through a journey, and then, you know, somebody up there so powerful says that, okay, this is what you're going to do. This is what you're meant to do. And then, you know, just keep that in the back of your mind. You know, you have to do some growing, you know, in between. So it's life experiences, you know, just learning. And then now I'm back. It's, you know.
Yay.
Tell us about your character on Generations, because I know the minute your name gets brought up in the room, and the ladies just go crazy. I mean, you are the star of the show at the moment. I mean, it's bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, hard work. I don't know, it's just... Generally, I'm a physical guy, I'm an athletic guy, and it's been like that.
Sure. Can we have the aircon on in here?
Oh, come on, that's not my best picture. Okay, that's the one.
That's not even your best. Is that the one? That's the one to focus on.
Yeah, so, I mean, I've always worked out and everything, and, you know, when I got the part, it was just, you know, part of it. You know, I didn't really prepare for it or anything like that. And these bad guys are entertaining. I guess, you know what I mean?
It's most fun to play villain.
Yeah, most fun to,
What I enjoy most about watching your villain as well is that you don't play the villain. You play a very normal man who's unaware of the fact that he's a bad guy, which makes it even more impactful. Is that a very conscious choice?
It's very, I mean, you know, a short story, a guy who's playing a mafia boss in a play. Mafia boss just happened to be at the play. At the end of the play, Mafia boss went to speak to the guy. He's all excited. Mafia boss is going to speak to him. And, you know, the Mafia boss is like, yeah, it wasn't really nice, but why did you have to shout? You know, why did you have to shout? And then this is what he means. Is, you know, a man like me, I hold so much power. You know, your life, I can take your life with just a wink or whatever. Yeah, I don't have to shout. I've got, you know, I'm a powerful. That's the reality of it.
Yeah.
And so I take my cue from that. You know, be as normal as you can. The guys that are going to rob a bank, they're not going to look like bank robbers. They're going to walk in there looking like, you know, they're somebody's lawyer or anything, and then suddenly, you know, surprise.
You are just, like, you're so cool and you are so powerful and captivating as a man and as an actor. We're going to be chatting to you in a little while as well to find out. No, can I tell you? Do you know what
smoldering? There's a smoldering fire on this couch.
I'm melting on the seat. But can I tell you what comes to mind when speaking to you? It's the saying that I heard Selma Hayek say, and she goes, "You are so cool. You are the only Coca-Cola in the desert, and everybody wants a sip."
Woo!
Michael!
Listen, behind any powerful man is always a mother that is as strong and powerful. And if you think you've got an extraordinary mother as well, then nominate her for the Clicks Mom of the Year 2018 competition. And she could win a brand new BMW 3 Series. Plus, you could win one of 10 pamper hampers for you both, including a day in a pampering, obviously at a luxury hotel, return flights to Cape Town, and one night's accommodation at a Cape Town hotel. If that sounds splendid, then all you have to do is visit the Clicks Facebook page and reply to the competition post telling us why your mom deserves to win Mom of the Year 2018. Your motivation shouldn't be more than 100 words. Competition closes on the 15th of April. T's and C's apply. Visit clicks.co.za to find them.
Clover No Lac, lactose-free milk that lets you enjoy dairy again. Made with love by Clover.
So Jeannie thinks there's hot chocolate on the couch. We've got hot chocolate in the kitchen as well, but this time even spicier.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
And there's obviously no lac. It's got Clover No Lac, which is quite cool. So lactose-free people can also enjoy this delicious dish. It's obviously good quality cocoa powder and a topping of whipped coconut cream. It makes the perfect hot chocolate, and even more decadent one at that. Now, what could be better treat for this cold evenings that's coming up in winter? Obviously lactose-free. Clover No Lac milk is the key ingredient here, with its sweet taste, but without added extra sugar. So you have to try this one at home, and obviously if you want to do that, you SMS the keyword Clover to 33650 at a cost of R1.50. Those free SMSs won't apply. Sounds delicious, and it sounds obviously like it's enjoyable for anybody.
It is, absolutely. So, let me just get some more Clover
No lac.
No lac in there, because it's about to bubble over.
Yeah,
I don't want to be crying over.
You can't lack milk in there.
No, you can't. Okay.
There'll be no lac, you know?
All right, so let's get cooking immediately. So it's actually the lactase that is added to the lactose, which breaks it down. And during the process, it creates a slightly sweet flavor. But like you said, there's no added sugar in there.
Nicely
It's
done.
all the dairy. People think that there's no dairy in lactose-free milk. The dairy's in there. It's just no lactose.
I see. So also, obviously, everyone's going to say like, oh, but I want the extra added sugar. Don't you worry. This hot chocolate's got extra added sugar in it.
Yeah.
Not in the milk, though.
Let's get cooking. So first, some beautiful flavor with our orange peel.
Nice.
So you can twist it to release
And I'm
the
guessing
oils.
you can use clementines. You can use whatever you'd want to put in
Clementines,
there.
I recommend, anytime. Okay. Clementines, they're in there. In with some
that
sugar.
smells so good already.
It really does. Chocolate and orange, best friends.
Nice.
Okay, absolutely. So, get that all in there together. Again, like yesterday we used those black peppercorns.
Yes.
It's something that's in there, but you don't really know what it is. You're like, what is that? And that's the orange.
I see.
Then we got some good quality cocoa. This is unsweetened cocoa because we've added the sugar in there.
Yeah.
And we got the nice sweetness of the no-lac milk. So now I'm trying to whisk as fast as I can to not get any lumps. But if we get the lumps, you know what? That's just going to be how it is.
It's also some of the best parts. I mean, like everyone else used to say as a kid, you know, when we used to make like chocolate milk or whatever, I really liked the little bits at the bottom. When the little bits used to come out, I used to chew on the little...
Did you put your finger in there, like get it all out? Absolutely. So that's looking really good. Let's talk about some added flavor. So the spiciness, we got some spice or spicy notes there from the orange.
Yes.
Some cinnamon's going to go in.
Nice. This is such a perfect winter dish. Oh, man.
It really is.
This is dessert in a cup.
Absolutely. Okay, cool. So once you got that nice, deep, rich color, you're going to want to get your glasses, the little ones. I kind of think they're cute. Yeah?
I like it.
Yeah.
Because you can serve two like that. It's nice to have a glass in there because obviously you can see what liquid's inside. That's brilliant.
There we go.
Oh, yum. Just like that, and we're done and dusted.
It's smelling so great as well.
Yum. I've never actually thought about cooking some orange inside, because I'd imagine the orange would have got bitter when you obviously put it in and you heat it up. But because you're heating it up and then pouring it immediately, that goes away. You're a
so smart.
smarty.
You are so smart. There we go. Now, because we are keeping it lactose-free, what I've done instead of using some cream is I've actually taken coconut cream. We're not done, put it back.
I know, I'm just smelling it just for now, Oh man, that's heavenly.
It is, eh? It's about to get a lot better.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I've got some coconut milk that I've popped into the freezer for about an hour to really chill. And then I whipped it up. And that's your...
Oh, I see.
Is
the point, obviously, of freezing it beforehand is to get it to, congeal slightly, to thicken up a little bit.
Exactly.
Oh, wow, that looks
so
good.
So look at that lactose-free top. I'm going to give you more. I'm going to give you more because I think you deserve it. Then I've got some cocoa nibs. Add a bit of crunch to it. You can do the sprinkle. What's really cool is also you get this like kind of frozen topping.
Yeah.
And you get the cold, and you get the nice and hot.
Warm underneath.
It's crazy.
Clem has always been like this. I know you guys know this as well. It's always about texture differentiations, flavor differentials, whatever you can do to make sure the dish is as dynamic as possible. Clem's your guy to obviously make that happen. So who would have thought that a hot chocolate could turn out this delicious? I honestly really think this looks amazing. And even obviously better is that it's lactose free. So anybody in the family, no matter what allergies they've got when it comes to lactose, can enjoy this as well. Remember to SMS the keyword Clover to 33650 to get this recipe sent directly to your device. And if you've missed anything along the way and just were drooling over this recipe, here's a recap for you.
Made with love by Clover.
Hot chocolate is always a good idea. Now, this weekend, the presenter search on 3 auditions moves to Cape Town. This season is brought to you by McCafe and Capitec, and this weekend's auditions will be held at the DHL Newlands Rugby Stadium this Saturday and Sunday, the 7th and 8th of April. Gates open at 8 a.m., so be sure to get there early. All you have to do is register at the gate and prepare a short link that'll show the judges that you are ready to be the new face of SABC3. The Mother City is notorious for producing talent, so make sure you come prepared. For more details and a list of audition venues in a city near you, please visit presentersearchon3.com.
Step into the spotlight as South Africa's next TV superstar with Presenter Search on 3, proudly brought to you by Capitec and McCafe.
Own the SABC3 stage as the newest host of top-billing Afternoon Express or the Espresso Morning Show.
Gates open at 8 a.m. for the Cape Town leg of the auditions on the 7th and 8th of April at the DHL Newlands Rugby Stadium.
Visit presentersearchon3.com for more details.
With SABC3,
the stage is yours.
Get a taste of the smooth island life and win big with Tropica Island of Treasure Maldives. Buy a Tropica, follow the entry details on the pack, and you could win daily airtime prizes, Daniel Klein watches, American Tourista luggage for your next adventure, vouchers from loot.co.za to shop the hot daily deals online, and the grand prize of a Kia Picanto. For competition T's and C's, visit tropica.co.za. And don't forget to watch Tropica Island of Treasure Maldives every Monday at 7:30 p.m. on SABC3.
You're back with us on Afternoon Express, live on SABC3. Get heading to our social media platforms. We're loving engaging with you. It's been a great show so far. And when it comes to, obviously, movie genres, the first image that springs to mind, if you talk about westerns, is a group of cowboys, obviously riding horses across America and robbing banks. Well, that perception is soon to change because South Africa has its very own western right here on our home soil. It's set in the Eastern Cape, starring Vuyo, and it's called Five Fingers for Marseille, and it releases in cinemas across the country tomorrow.
Qalong ho tlile diterene ya ba tsona di tla di rotse mago qala ba iphaditsa ba re ke lefatshe la bo bona.
Kutheni usikhathalele kangaka Tawu?
Ke tlameha ba le matla lerato.
Hantle o khutletse. Ke robalile ha o qeta ho kenya mathateng. Ha o qala wa bua ha o kenya mathateng ha.
Toropo e lokolohileng. Bodile ke sefolotsana a se mojondolo mona mola o mong fela jai janjanyana na re ka o tseba hore wena o mang.
Yo, South Africa, you're in for an absolute treat. We're joined now by writer and producer Sean Drummond, along with the talented director and producer Michael Matthews, along with the star cast member Vuyo Dabula. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Sure, hey? Goosies. Every time you see that, you just must be so proud of yourselves. 9 years.
It's a hell of a journey we've been on. Yo. Mike and I have been working together for about 15 years, and we met while we were studying, and along we've got a whole creative collective, the BFAD Motel Brain Trust. And I think we've always been genre guys, and we've wanted to try and take grand genre and put it on South African screens and believe that we could do stories here with local actors and local language, and that the world will want to see them, as well as South African audiences. And the journey we've been on with Five Fingers has pretty much proven exactly that. Yeah. You know, people want to see grand, epic South African stories told on cinema screens. So.
I love it. And there's quite a funny story about how, obviously, you guys came to decide to shoot in South Africa and come up with this concept. Tell us the story.
Well, we knew we wanted to do the West, and we had like the bones of the story, and then we did about a month on the road driving every single day. So we did 8,000–9,000 kilometers off the main roads, just going to small towns and trying to find the perfect place to write the story around. So we found Lady Grey, which is an amazing spot.
Yo, it's beautiful. Man, what an incredible space to be able to produce a film like this, and to kind of, you see this, you wonder, this can't be our own hometown, and it really is. How do two white guys decide they're going to produce a Western film, which is such an American-like sort of, you know, genre, in a South African context, you know, using Sotho and Xhosa as such a big influence in that space? How did you bring those worlds together?
I think it was a lot of the traveling. I mean, we were in every town we were stopping off, and we were meeting people, getting to know communities, chatting to people. And in Lady Grey, where we ended up shooting, the first time we stayed there for about a month, I think the first time, just meeting people, learning, listening to actual histories. And I think there's such there are such interesting and contested histories around the land in those spaces that we just found stories that were begging to be told. And I think telling... A lot of the great Westerns had social and political undertones sort of baked into them, and I think you want to use genre as a vehicle for exploring real themes and real stories, because it's not confrontational for an audience. You can get this grand, entertaining tale with Vuyo, who gives, by the way, just the performance of a lifetime in the film, I have to say, as well as the rest of the cast. I mean, there hasn't been a South African ensemble cast like this in a long time, I think. But you have these grand characters, it's an exciting story, and so for an audience to get drawn into that world and then come away with questions about the South Africa we live in today, I think is the greatest balance.
Yeah, it definitely reflects where we are now, and I think we actually, when we were writing and working on it, we knew that was in there, but it's come out more from people having seen it and the conversations that come out of that.
I love that. For you as an actor, obviously, Vuyo, you immersing yourself in this world must also bring to light a whole bunch of things for you. I mean, all actors are looking for that next role, that next character that's going to push them beyond, you know, what they've known before. What did this film do for you as an actor?
No, I mean, you often want to, you know, just the thing is just the preparation. Like when you prepare for a role, you overthink it, you talk about it, you ask questions and whatever. But, you know, the actual environment, the actual sort of, you know, when you're actually on the trenches, that has a, because I've never really been exposed to, you know, that kind of sort of environment, or, you know, the process of shooting a film at at this scale, and you know, you almost want to, you know, you overplan it, but when you're in the situation, you find that, you know, it's the climate, the environment, the people, just. It does something to you that you could never ever really have, you know, found if you were not necessarily in that that environment.
Immersed, so actually put yourself
It's like that. I don't know, method acting type of. It just brings you in, pulls you in.
I think the environment and the space had a huge influence on the whole thing, and the difficulty, like everyone having to band together and make it there in the freezing cold mountains. it comes into the shoot. You can see it in the movie.
You speak about immersing yourself in the environment. I mean, that's what you guys also had to do while you were doing this touring and trying to figure out how to make this work. There was a beautiful acting school I think you guys found in the Eastern Cape. Tell us about the relationship between them. So there was so much more to this film than just getting the shots out at the end of the day. You guys got to, you know, engage with these communities as well.
I think we knew to do it right we had to engage with the community, and we couldn't go in and feel like we were taking from a space and then just you know, doing what we want with it, because that's sort of that's not well-intentioned filmmaking, I think. So the benefit of the film taking 7 years to get made while we were trying to raise the money was that we would go back to town every year, and every year we would say, this is the year we're coming to make it, and they would go, great. And we were working with the Lady Grey Arts Academy, which is an amazing arts school that's there, and they've churned out quite a lot of talent. Bangaziwa Mabandla comes out of that school. Simkita Nyoka, who was in Vaya, she comes out of that school. So there's this really great heritage of actors, and we cast the 6 young stars of the film. The younger versions of the adult characters we cast from that school. Cool. We had supporting cast, we had extras, we had people on our crew. It was sort of like if you were living in the town, somehow you were involved in the production.
That's such a beautiful thing to have experienced, you know, like this family and this community getting behind this film. And obviously it's also a brilliant film itself. You guys won a whole bunch of awards. Tell me more about what that means for films like that. South Africa takes a lot of time to raise this money. You go out, you put it in front of festivals, they then decide if they're going to win awards or not, and then South Africans get to see it tomorrow. So how do the awards affect filmmaking in South Africa?
I think it just helps it put it on the global platform, and it helped us get really great reviews and for people to see it and the global discussion to start before. It's quite interesting actually with South African audiences, which hopefully is going to start changing. I think with films like this and more that are coming out, it's you know, they look internationally before they look locally. It's quite a strange thing, and hopefully we start shifting that and just taking pride in our own things. Often you're sort of looking internationally to see whether an artist doing well musically or a movie before we appreciate it here. So it's still part of that. Like it's still, we've got to go out there, make this film shine, and then bring it home. And
I love that. As a South African, I mean, excuse me for sounding almost negative, but I don't mean it to be negative at all. I'm so tired of the same old stories being told about South Africa. I'm so excited to have a story coming from from in South Africa that is so different and unique and exciting, but still focusing on the issues that we're experiencing as a country. So, final words from Vuyo and Sean. Tell me about why South Africans should go watch this film tomorrow.
I think it's the most exciting time for South African film that I can think of. Just with the number of films doing great things internationally and locally, audiences are coming out. There's almost like a paradigm shift going on with audiences, and I think especially with Black Panther, which is just the biggest movie phenomenon that's ever hit, screens.
It broke all of the Marvel charts. I mean,
and in South Africa it's setting records, and I think it's because audiences are starting to go, we can proudly get behind films that are grand, epic South African stories that leave you with something more than just being entertained like Five Fingers. So my final word is come and see it.
Yes, you have
and
to.
Let's
be a part of that.
Let's change the game. Yeah,
I love it. Vuyo?
I think it is like a good entertaining film, like a good popcorn. You can take the family. Munching. Because you can take the whole family. Actually not the whole family. You can take. Actually, it's enjoyable. It's actually there's I want to support local for the sake of supporting local, but you're really definitely not going to be wasting your time. You really engage from the beginning to the end. It's like a real, and it competes in terms of production value and everything, the acting and everything. It just works beautifully in the film. So I think you won't be wasting your time actually watching the film.
It's almost, we shouldn't even be promoting this as a South African film. People are like, oh gosh, I'm going to buy my ticket just to make sure they don't go broke.
Really,
it's one of those films you wouldn't even notice. You wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even flinch. Can't wait for South Africans to continue to support you guys. Well done on an epic project, guys.
Thanks so much.
Really, really brilliant stuff. I hope that you guys are going to go check it out. Releases in cinemas tomorrow. There's still so much more to come on Afternoon Express. After the break, we're back on the couch with model and media personality Refilwe. So make sure you stay right where you are.
Next week on Tropica Island of Treasure, Maldives. Go! Go, boy! The contestants are on a holy mission to get their hands on R1 million. Come on! In a waiting game that may be too heavy to handle.
This looks near impossible. I don't know if it actually can be done.
Anya seems to have lost her bag right now.
30 seconds into the game and I'm thinking to myself,
Catch Tropica Island of Treasure Mondays at 7:30 p.m. on SABC3. The stage is yours.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express, live on SABC3. We're back on the couch with the vivacious, formidable force that is Refilwe Modiselle. So, let's talk about, because now you're this confident, exuberant woman that everybody just is so inspired by. But there's a journey here where people watching from home who've had to live with albinism, thinking, where do I grow my confidence? How do I overcome an obstacle that is the first thing that I think people experience of me? I mean, children growing up, a mother myself, I look at my sons and I think, there's so many insecurities that they have to overcome that are just naturally there. And what do you remember growing up that informed those years for you?
I think growing up, what informed those years was the understanding of love. I think when you receive love from home and your reassurance is not seek from the outside, but that as a foundation for you to build the person in and carry that through. I think somewhere, somehow, when you know that you are loved, you will never look from it outside. And you will constantly carry that through. That becomes your confidence. For a person with albinism, I always say as well that when you receive love, there's a certain, I don't know what to call it, maybe a teaching, so to speak, that helps you gain the sense of strength to understand that you are created beautifully in the person that you are. Love comes from a higher place, and this is what we forget. It doesn't only just come from your parents, but it comes from your spirituality as well. When you learn to love, it's a form of connecting with your higher power, whatever you believe in just in this world, like God, and just understanding that you are created in this form. You cannot change that. For the mere fact that you look down upon it, then it means you're saying to that power that created you that, sorry, you know, I don't like the form that I come in. It's doing an injustice to your own existence.
Your own journey.
It seems to me that you are in such a beautiful place, like where you don't need any kind of affirmations from anywhere because you're so full of...
I'm 32.
No, but it's beautiful, and I really wish...
It's a good place to be.
That's one thing that I would wish so many people, and especially children, receive that and understand that, because what a powerful place to be in your life, really.
I think that happens when you get to a point where, you know, people don't realize that this journey has never been easy for Refilwe, and this is what I honestly want to say. They look at you as if you are built on a silver platter and you come ready, and I'm like, no, all those experiences in my life, whether good or bad, have happened. The difference is that even in the bad experiences, I've taken them, I've made peace with them, I've looked at them, and I've understood their purpose in growing me and my journey. When you get to that place, there's a peaceful part of you that says, it is well in my soul.
The stillness.
Yes.
But you also had quite the army around you, because we had your sister on the show.
Oh,
and your sister.
That was my number ones. Bunte, Candice, I love you, babies.
Oh, so sweet. Tell us about your relationship.
Wow, you know, everybody assumes that our relationship has always kind of been perfect because they see it now. We grew up as not understanding each other, really. They've always, you know, as children, just because of the age difference and never because of my skin difference or anything like that. I mean, the dynamic is we're 4 years apart from each other. I'm 8 years from the last born and 4 years from Bunte, you know. And the two have always been close, obviously just the generational gap, and I've always kind of been the mom, you know. So because when my mom became a single parent, I think at a very young age, I felt like I had to assume the role of a parent without anybody actually saying that to me, because I was then my mother's right hand. So in that instance, they grew up thinking that I was very tough, very hard. But I think now that we're older, we understand each other better, and we have a level of communication where we're able to put things on the table more clearer, and they have an understanding. They're no longer kids, they're adults. They understand those experiences. We're very close. We are each other's friends first, before we seek for friendship outside.
I love that. And speaking about being tough and hard, I've been waiting all day to ask you this question because we are just saluting you and celebrating like comedy. Please tell us about Tomb Raider.
Oh, man. Firstly, Tomb Raider, all I was doing was just, I got the opportunity to work with Warner Brothers South Africa.
An amazing shot.
Yes.
What an
It's
amazing
my
shot.
dream. I'm obsessed
You
with
need to frame that and just put
Look
it in
at that
your...
one.
Wow, you know what?
Wow. You are strong, you are fierce, you are powerful.
I
yes.
did everything. Like,
did all
I
your own
did everything
stunts.
under the
All
sun.
your own stunts.
You see, the thing is, there's still the actress in me, you know, which I never forget. So if I am assigned to a specific role, whether it's just for a promotion, I give it my all. And for me, at that point, it was the opportunity for me to be my own superhero as much as I was doing Lara Croft, you know. It was like Refilwe reincarnates herself as a super, you know, divine woman who is Lara Croft. And that was what I was channeling in. Warner Brothers South Africa asked me to, you know, promo the movie coming out. And it was a day of a shoot, and I didn't anticipate that I was going to do all that stuff. I thought it was going to look really pretty or whatever. And I got down and dirty because I'm just the type of person. If I'm given a task, I would do it to the fullest of my ability, because tomorrow I want people to appreciate everything that I gave.
Well, congratulations. It looks absolutely amazing. I can't wait to see it. I
you,
mean, you did all
you.
your own stunts, right?
Look, what they did, yes, actually. How do I explain it?
Well done.
I was put in. Yes, I did do my own
Well,
stunts.
there we go.
Let me just
Done.
put it like that. Because a lot of
Yes.
people are going to be like, what did they
No,
have somebody?
yes.
I actually did do
It's
all
just
of that
yes.
stuff. It's like literally zip lining, all of it.
Well done.
I had to run through a
Amazing.
forest and look like a crazy woman. They couldn't believe it because they thought that I was going to be very petite and model-like. But I think in my experience of also playing a character in the international series of Kings and Prophets, I was playing a villain, which was literally like a little boy girl. You didn't know what was going on, who was running in the forest after the main character. So with having that experience in being somebody that you're not, you play that role if you're given a task.
You are just so cool. Thank you so much for being here today.
Love you guys.
We're going to
Thank
take
you
a
so much,
quick break and we're going to be
ladies.
back after this for our final kisses. Goodbye.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. We're live on SABC3 as we celebrate how bright South Africa's future is in the world of film and fashion.
Absolutely. I'm sure you'll all agree it's been a great show today. Amazing guests, great conversation. We really loved having them. Make sure you join us again tomorrow when we spend the afternoon with one of South Africa's best-loved actors and writers, Seloma Kegancube, best known as Archie Morocco on Generations.
Indeed. Looking forward to it. It's going to be super epic. Cannot wait for that. And thanks for all the love on the social sites. We've absolutely loved hearing from you, South Africa. Keep those comments coming through. Post the show so we can engage with you beyond this. #Afternoon Express. I cannot believe it's almost the weekend.
Yeah, and go watch Five Fingers for Marseille.
Yes,
oh, I can't wait.
tomorrow.
Let's please go and watch it together.
It's a date.
Can't wait.
I'm going to be eating all that popcorn in that film. The trailer looks
It
epic.
looks insane.
It's going to be awesome.
We
So
love
guys,
you all.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Good night. Bye.
Bye. Where's that hot chocolate you made?
Where is it? I don't actually know.
Afternoon Express, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.